You're with ECCMID TV, and now an interview with the head of the review on the antimicrobial resistance team from the UK, hosted by the Wellcome Trust, reporting directly to the UK Prime Minister. Hala Audi has just delivered an economics perspective on antimicrobial resistance, a fascinating paper delivered to a packed hall, and she's here with us now. Hala, the crisis is quite real, really, in terms of drug-resistant TB, malaria, HIV, and other bacterial infections. I mean, we're talking of a massive cost to global economy with these diseases, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, already today, antibiotic and antimicrobial resistance kill 700,000 people globally. That's a huge burden already, and in the scenarios that we've run, modeling how much it could kill by 2050 if that threat isn't tackled, we estimate that 10 million people would die every year by 2050 if we don't do something today. To give you a sense of perspective, cancer kills about 8 million people every year today, so that would be 10 million people killed by antimicrobial resistance in 2050. And that's not to talk about the financial burden of AMR, which is already quite significant and means there's no excuse for not acting now, because in fact we're spending the money on dealing with the resistance. So why not spend the money on investing so it doesn't occur in the first place?
Absolutely right. Now, one of the things that you mentioned in your presentation is that AMR as a term remains unknown to the outside world. And whilst you've got this incredible job, because political action is needed and you're working at the highest levels, the UN, the G20, across the European governance areas, public awareness, on the other hand, is at an all-time low. I mean, you're talking of major political action on things where the public don't even need to realize they have to wash their hands. How do you reconcile that?
So you're totally right, Michael, that the missing link is the awareness and the understanding by people about the threat. And we're making some progress with political leaders and policymakers, and that's very, very important. But we need to do much more to bring the message home to all 7 billion of us, as our chair Gemonial like to say. And I think sky is the limit in terms of the ambition. You could, imagine a global awareness campaign via the UN. You could use sports and football events to start talking about the problem. You could use Bollywood stars and Chinese opera and Hollywood to really bring the message home using people who the public recognizes. But we need somebody to take the leadership on this and to really start this work, and we need it to start soon. I think the message needs to be global to show that it's an international problem, because microbes travel and don't stop at borders. But we also need local delivery of the messaging, because different people understand the problem differently, and you can't speak in technical terms from a stage somewhere to everybody. We need to tailor that message.
You were certainly talking to this hall, packed, standing room only. But what was it you most wanted to achieve by addressing the audience here at this ECCMID Congress?
To be honest, it's really a dialogue that's been going on between us in the review, who started as non-experts, and where we learned everything that we know in the first few months, working with the people who come to ECCMID and taught us about the science, the medical aspects, and everything else. And this, to me, was an important milestone to come back and report back to that community, a year and a half on after we started, to say that's how much progress we have done, and we need you to continue supporting us and talking to people and raising awareness, and also doing the research that you're doing.
That's terrific. Thank you very, very much indeed. Really appreciate it.